Shabbat Shalom. Good evening, and thank you all for joining us for this confirmation service. My name is Zadie Winthrop, and today I'd like to tell you why I have chosen to participate in confirmation. When I got an email from Tori and Ariana about 2 months ago asking if I planned on participating, I did not respond immediately. I knew I'd be graduating high school next week. My very last finals are happening now, and I've been trying to follow through on my hope of spending more time with friends and family as the day I leave home rapidly approaches. I also knew, even as I considered otherwise, that I would in fact participate. Similarly to how I'm preparing to say goodbye to friends, to teachers, and to San Francisco, it is now dawning on me that I will also be saying at least a partial goodbye to this temple. I will, of course, continue to be Jewish. But what exactly will it look like to be Jewish at another synagogue? In college, in another city? I've gone to lots of services and family b'nai mitzvahs in my life, and I find each congregation sings their blessings differently. I know the words, but the tune varies. There's nothing wrong with how different temples sing or how they practice, but I miss the way I can sing along here without thinking about it. I find remembering the tunes of songs I learned for my bat mitzvah to be meditative and grounding. I feel comforted by how this congregation sits and stands in unison. I've also become comfortable with this physical space. I have memories of playing hide and seek and feeling like I owned the building as I discovered a room I'd never been in before, of sitting with my classmates in a makeshift plane outside the main sanctuary and being told I'd flown to Israel for that Sunday school class. I recall being brought to the open-door preschool bathrooms and at one point even feeling a bit too old for them. I also, over the last 4 years, have brought many preschoolers to that bathroom and wondered if the same feeling had hit them yet. The temple has served as a constant in our childhoods, and I imagine that is why many of us have chosen to participate in this service. So even though we may not know precisely what our Jewish future will look like outside of Emanu-El, without immediately knowing the melodies, the space, or the people, I hope we can find consistency and meaning in the other aspects of our Jewish practice. I think about how, with the high holidays, I always look forward to hearing the rabbis investigate a societal problem in their sermons and call upon us to not only engage with the subject, but to extend ourselves to find a way we can help solve it. I think of how Tori in our preschool class always considered who is represented in the books we read, even as we read them to 3- and 4-year-olds. I recall my parents giving me $1 every Sunday morning so I could place it in the class tzedakah box. Or how almost every b'nai mitzvah and service I've ever attended, including my own, incorporated some kind of call to justice or to bettering the world. We have grown up steeped in these notions of engagement, justice, and tikkun olam. Through my years working here in the Madrahim program, I have found that despite the very early wake-up, coming here Sunday mornings and seeing my classmates getting bagels before going to our classes, doing art projects with the preschoolers, and even in the last month, preparing for this confirmation service, has shown me the importance of actively engaging in the Jewish community. I imagine most of us were expected to come to Sunday school and to be bat bar or b'nai mitzvah, but somewhere along the way, something changed. It became our choice to come to this place. We have chose to become and have become members of the Jewish community. Emanu-El has taught us to be engaged citizens, to be people who constantly consider their responsibility to better our world, and to be active participants in the Jewish community. And so, I feel hopeful that while we have been raised as Jews in the tradition of Emanu-El, we may find fulfillment in other Jewish spaces because of our shared commitment to justice, engagement, and to community. And even though we may miss this building and these people, I hope that we can consider how our Judaism can continue to be rooted in the values this place has instilled in us. Thank you, and Shabbat Shalom.